The monitor by Leo's hospital bed beeped a steady rhythm, the soundtrack to my new life. My 8-year-old son, Leo, was a pale little warrior, fighting a vicious autoimmune disorder called pediatric systemic vasculitis. The treatment was a medical masterpiece and a financial nightmare, the lead specialist told us. The immunotherapy isn't covered, it's considered experimental. The cost is about $2 million for the first year. My husband, Julian, just put a hand on my shoulder and said, "We'll find the money, Sarah. We'll move heaven and earth." That was 6 months ago. The bills were now a grim monument on the bedside table. Our savings, our college fund, our dreams all gone. We were drowning in medical loans, all while watching our funny, brilliant boy fade. Julian, a partner at a venture capital firm, handled the finances. He was always on his phone, always in urgent investor calls. I was too exhausted to focus on Leo's fevers and meds, to notice the subtle changes. Like the faint scent of a floral perfume that wasn't mine clinging to his shirts, the discovery was a complete accident. Leo needed a new compression garment, another $800 we didn't have. I logged into our joint bank account, a place I rarely visited. The balance was shockingly low. I scrolled back through the constant outflows to the hospital, and then my blood turned to ice. A single, massive wire transfer from 2 weeks ago, $50 million. Sent to an entity called the Aurora Foundation. The memo read, "Strategic Philanthropic Initiative, $50 million, while I was begging hospital administrators over a $5,000 copay. Julian had moved a fortune. My hands trembled as I searched online, the Aurora Foundation, lighting the path for disadvantaged youth. The founder was a stunning woman named Cassie Vance. A deeper search revealed the foundation was only 4 months old, based out of a co-working space. Then social media delivered the final blow, a photo of Cassie at a recent gala with my husband, Julian, smiling on her arm. The confrontation that night was quiet and brutal. I showed him the transfer on my tablet. He didn't deny it, he just pivoted. "Sarah, it's not what you think. The Aurora Foundation is a passion project. It's an investment in our reputation." My voice was a whisper of pure fury. "An investment? Julian, our son needs $2 million. We are drowning. And you gave $50 million to your mistress's vanity project." He actually looked hurt. "It's not like that. The money is tied up. It's not liquid. We're exploring other options for Leo." He called it a liquidity issue. I called it a crime. But rage is a luxury the mother of a sick child can't afford. It burns too much energy. So I let that rage freeze into a cold, hard diamond of purpose. I hired a private investigator named Ben. "Find everything," I told him. A week later, he delivered the truth. The affair was an open secret. The Aurora Foundation had no programs, no beneficiaries. Its only major expenses were a new luxury apartment and a sports car, both in Cassie's name. The $50 million was a beautifully wrapped gift, not a charity. My lawyer, Linda Garcia, was a shark. "This is more than an affair. Sarah, this is a fraudulent transfer. He's hiding marital assets needed for your child's healthcare. We filed for an emergency hearing to freeze all our assets. We didn't leak the story to a tabloid. We gave it to a serious financial journalist." The headline was devastatingly simple: "Venture capitalist's $50 million charity donation coincides with son's multi-million-dollar medical crisis." The court of public opinion was swift and merciless. In the courtroom, Julian's lawyers argued it was a legitimate, irrevocable donation. Our lawyers simply presented 3 exhibits, a photo of Leo in his hospital bed, The bank statement showing the $50 million outflow. And the lease for Cassie's new penthouse, the judge. A grandfatherly man whose eyes had turned to flint had seen enough. He granted the asset freeze and ordered Julian to immediately secure a $5 million line of credit just for Leo's medical care. He then ordered Julian to explain why the $50 million shouldn't be clawed back as a fraudulent transfer. The gavel fell with a sound like thunder. I visited Julian in his now silent, frosty office to deliver the final terms. The arrogance was gone, replaced by hollow defeat. His firm had forced him on leave. Cassie had lawyered up. The $50 million was frozen. You've destroyed me, he said. Not even looking at me, I placed one last piece of paper on his desk. It was the first invoice for Leo's new treatment, paid for by the court-ordered credit line. No, Julian, I said calmly, you tried to destroy our son. I just balanced the books. I walked out of that office and went straight back to the hospital the next morning. The first infusion of the new, life-saving drug was scheduled. As I sat by Leo's bed, watching the clear, costly liquid drip into his veins, I didn't think about Julian or Cassie or the scandal. I just watched the colour slowly begin to return to my son's cheeks. The ledger, at last, was settled. The only charity that ever mattered was right here, in this room, fighting to live. Thanks for listening to my story. If you found it compelling, please like and subscribe for more.